song sucks. What is the lyrics? Don't tell what?
They locked me up and took my
Don't tell Aunt Rhody? This song sucks.
Thank you.
Lord Maquaqua, thanks for the 14-incher, man. I really appreciate it. They haven't even shown what the game's about, right? Or like, is it about zombies? Oh, there's some monsters or some shit. And some killing. This is a longer trailer than I've seen. This song sucks, dude.
Thank you.
That's a cool trailer, except for the song. There's so much stuff they show, but you don't even know what it's about. Eternally Faded, thanks very much for the 4 inches. Shh! Oh, the mics don't work, Lord Hans! Lord Hans, you motherfucker, turn the mics on. No audio!
We have Capcom the End who's going to be translating for us. So, thanks for joining us, guys. We just watched
Turn it up.
Resident Evil 7. Everyone seems to be super excited about the game. It was announced yesterday at the Sony press
Jesus,
conference.
Lord Hans.
How are you guys? I know how I'm feeling, but how are you guys feeling?
Can you even hear
about
this?
having the news out there, the reaction to it? Just tell me how you're feeling.
Lord Hans, come on, man. Is this your first fucking time streaming? God damn it. I can't hear him. I can't hear anything. It's so loud right now that it's buzzing.
Yeah, it was a lot of work to get to this point. Obviously, you know, we're just first of all super relieved we've finally been able to talk about the game and show it to everyone. Now we're just really interested to see what everyone thinks. You know, we'd love to see everyone's reaction to the announcement we made yesterday. So, looking forward to seeing that.
Fantastic. And, you know, Kwada-san and Nakanishi-san, would you mind telling us about your roles on the game and also your history with the Resident Evil series?
今回のタイトルの役割とシリーズの歴代役割について。
Jesus Christ.
今回はとにかくですね、ホラーにこだわったそのコンセプトで、ゲームを制作しています。
プロデューサーとか、
Dude.
役割とか。
はい。僕としてはですね、4、5、6と続いて
I better look at some more flowers. Just a moment.
新しいそのバイオハザードっていうものを、今回の成功でですね、表現できればいいかなと思っています。
So I'm the producer on the game, and you know I've worked on previous titles like Resident Evil 5 and Revelations, and you know I'm gonna try and use my history with the series to really bring the horror feeling out in this new title. I really want to bring a new kind of horror to the players, so looking forward to that.
Fantastic.
中西さん、今回の役割とシリーズ通しての役割とか。
バイオハザードは、もう最初の頃から常にこうチャレンジしてきたタイトルなので、やっぱりプラットフォームが新しくなるタイミングでまた今にない新しいチャレンジっていうのを感じてもらいたいなと思って。
This is crazy, right? I can't hear them
So
and
I've
the
been on the
buzz
series
sound
quite
is
a
so
long time, you know,
loud.
and it's been a long history of taking on new challenges. Every time we have a new hardware coming out, we're putting a new Resident Evil game on it. You know, we have to do something different with the series, and just like Kawada-san said, looking forward to bringing something really new to everyone on the current generation of consoles.
Right. All right. And this is obviously, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is the full name in America. It is the next full chapter in the Resident Evil series. This is it. This is the next step in the innovation of horror, return to horror roots. But
Okay, it's getting
one
loud.
thing that struck me right away regarding the title is that it's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Can you tell us a little bit about the full title of the game and sort of the meaning behind?
今回、レジデント・イビル7バイオハザード日本でお客なんですけど、このタイトルにしたいきさつについてちょっと説明してもらっていいですか。ナンバリングの新作ということは一見わかるんですけど、なぜこういう組み合わせのタイトルにしたんですか。
一番大きな理由はやっぱりインパクトですよね。
Gosh, this is frustrating.
日本と海外の違うタイトルを使ったわけなんですけども、あえてそのタイトルを一つにビッチしたというか、そのインパクトっていうのを大きかったんじゃないかと思います。
Well, obviously you can tell we really wanted to merge the two titles we've had so far. As fans may know, the game has been called Biohazard ever since the start in Japan, and it's been called Resident Evil in the West. We really want to have the big impactful feeling of, the series it's in one place right now, and it's got one future it's heading towards, and to do that we kind of brought the titles together.
I
into
love
one
that
with
idea.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and it's the opposite in Japan.
Awesome
It's
idea.
Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
So sick.
Wow, that's really interesting. As a longtime fan, I love the story behind the different names.
Brilliant idea.
One thing that we're playing the PlayStation Plus PS4
Resident
demo
Evil
right
7
now called
Biohazard.
Beginning Hour, and at a glance, this is very different than other Resident Evil games. And in the words of the developers yourselves, curious if you can talk about the core differences between this Resident Evil and the ones that came before it.
まあ、今ティーザーやってるんで、もちろん一見今までのタイトルと全然違う気がしますので、まあ、どういうことがあってこのゲームを作ってきたのかみたいなちょっと教えてください。
I haven't seen this. I haven't played the demo yet.
そうですね、今回出しているデモはまず、今回一番フォ
Man,
ー
my
カスし
shoulder
たい
is killing me. I think
ホラ
I'm
ーであ
gonna
る
take
こと
an ibuprofen.
その分を感じてもらうために、本編の一部じゃなくて音楽のためだけに作ったデモです。
So the demo, just to make it clear first and foremost, it's not actually a slice from the game. It isn't the opening sequence of the game or anything like that. We really want to focus on what concepts we want the players to understand about
So
the
the
game.
demo is a
and that's
standalone
horror,
thing.
obviously.
That's
So
not in
this
the
is kind of
game.
like a tonal preview of what to expect in the game, rather than an actual little bit of the game content you're getting in advance.
Wow. For free.
で、バイオハザード、これまでたくさん20年の中でいろんなことをやってきたんだけど、やっぱりゲームプレイのコアにあるのは恐怖であり、探索と謎解きでリソースコントロール、あと戦闘と、もちろん今回のタイトルにはその全てが入っているんだけ
That's
ど、
cool.
このデモではやっぱり探索とホラーの部分だけ、にフォーカスして作ってる。
You know, in the 20-year history of Resident Evil, of course, you all know the key pillars of the games are fear and horror. There's exploration of the environment. You've got puzzle-solving elements. You've got resource management, and of course, you get combat against enemies. Those are all in this game, but we wanted to start off with the first two, which is horror and
Thank you.
exploration.
Thanks
and
very
really
much,
get you
Mr.
experiencing those two pillars
AJ,
up front.
for the
So
9 inches.
Just if you're thinking the other elements aren't in this demo, that's representative that the game
Thanks.
doesn't have them. That's not the case at all. We're just simply focusing up front on the message about horrors come home with this demo.
What did he say?
Great.
Fuck.
そのコアなサバイバルホラーのゲームプレイをどうやったらその
What
昔
did
感
they
じ
say
て
that
た
last
その
part?
初めて
Sorry, I
やっ
was
た時の
thanking that guy.
印象を出せるかと突き詰めていった結果が今回のこのシステムになっています。
And that looking back at the history of the series and thinking, how do we get people playing today to experience the same fear the players felt in 1996 when they played the first game? Like, how can we bring that up to date and bring that emotion back? And
It
that
will have combat.
question and that answer is really what led us to making the gameplay system, as you see in the demo.
And speaking of the gameplay, one of the most noticeable differences in Resident Evil 7 is that the perspective is in first person. Can you talk about from a development perspective why that was an important decision for this game?
I wish I was that blonde guy asking questions. I want to be that guy asking these questions. Fuck. I probably could have if I went to E3, but whatever.
突き詰めた時にですね、やはり
Shh.
サード
Maybe I could have
ダイレクトにその恐
if I
怖
got lucky.
ホラーを体感できるのは、
Not been that guy literally, but I could have asked questions. You know? Oh well.
しましたので、公開するのを採用しています。
Both myself and the director, Mr. Nakanishi, felt, you know, if we want people to experience horror, and we wanted to experience it in a most direct, visceral way possible, then, you know, putting yourself literally in the position of being able to see what the character sees is just the best way to do that. And, you know, that was really our motivation for this first-person camera change.
And oh yeah, please.
で実際にテストの段階で、やっていくと思った以上にその、没入感のある恐怖体験ができたのと、あとやっぱりバイオハザードのゲームがこれで問題なく体験できるっていうところがあって、今回このチェンジにしました。
Of course, it's a big change, so we kind of got a prototype working and we put first person in place, and we wanted to see, you know, can we make Resident Evil work in first person? But as soon as we had it up and running, we were pretty confident that this was the way to go forward. You know, we were really happy with the way that Resident Evil feels in first person.
Absolutely.
I'm watching Capcom Unity stream, and someone
The
in there
series has
said
roots in
Eris is
first
the
person in a
RE1
strange way. As a
national
fan, this is
champ.
something that I kind of nerded out about, which is the door loading sequences
In their
from the
chat,
original Resident
not in
Evils
our
and,
chat.
and the tension that came from going through a
That's
room
funny.
and seeing the door open, and now opening doors in the beginning hour. It sort of reminds me of that, and I don't know. I love that.
まあ最初のバイオハザードのドアシーケンスを思い出すんですよね。ファーストパーソンの部分で言うとそこがそもそも入っているので、ある意味ファーストパーソンは昔からバイオの DNA に入っているかもしれないですね。ファンの一人の一個人のファンとして
I love that game, dude.
ありがとう。
And
Yep.
additionally, I understand that this is developed in the RE engine, which is a new proprietary engine from Capcom, which has helped achieve the really stunning. It's interesting to call a game that looks so grimy and
Are they gonna
sort
mention
of dilapidated,
PT?
but it's
They
beautiful
better
in-
mention it.
in sort of its state of disarray. But this is achieved with the RE engine. Can you tell us a little bit about this new engine?
まあ薄暗い汚いけどある意味美しいグラフィックなんですけど、今回カプコン独自が作った RE エンジンの開発のもとにあってるんですね。ちょっとエンジンの方の最強とかについて語ってもらっていいですか。
エンジンの最
はい、まあ RE エンジンにしたこととか。
ああ、オッケーオッケー。カプコンはもうアーティストも
Yeah,
デ
but
ザイ
they
ナ
should
ー
at
も
least mention
こだわ
that
りが
it
強い人
obviously has a lot to do with it,
どう
right?
しても
They should
そう
mention
いうエン
it.
ジン
Other
と
games mention the games they're copying,
かゆい
right?
ところに手が
They
届かない。
mentioned Overwatch when they talked about Quake
日本語で大丈夫
Champions.
それ大丈夫なので、もう自分のところの内製のエンジンにしてエンジンプログラマー近くにいる環境でここやっぱもっとこういう表現がしたいとかこういうツールが欲しいっていうのをでやっぱクオリティのためにエンジンが必要になる。
You know, our artists, our programmers, all the whole team, they're all just really fussy people, and they really want to be able to get exactly what they want out of game development. So, you know, if you're using a third-party engine or one created by another company, it's like they feel like there's places they can't reach to scratch an itch because they didn't design the engine themselves, you know, and they want to know exactly how to find a way around the engine. And you know, we just decided the only way to make the game with the highest quality possible was, you know, make our own engine for it that's dedicated to bringing out this amazing experience. So it's really a sign of their dedication as artists that they wanted to not only make a new game but a brand new engine as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it's like building your own house, right? Instead of renovating someone else's home. Like if you know
Shut
what you
up,
want,
dude. We
build it
get
from the
how
ground
it's
up for
like.
yourself,
We
right?
get the analogy, bro.
自分の家を建てるという意味なんですね。
Another thing that I know that people are
Fucking
very
Akira.
eager to know about this game is who are you playing in this game?
Pop.
今回の主人公は誰ですか？みんな気になってると思うんですけど。
もう今回の主人公はもうあえて今までみたいにですね、困難に立ち向かっていける、もう最初からそのマッチョな主人公ではなくて、そのホラーをダイレクトに感じてもらうためにもですね、すごく無力な
I
人
think
間
first
っていうの
person
を、
could be
主
cool
人公に置いてますね。この配
if
信
it's not a
版でもですね、
multiplayer game, you know, and if they
もう
focus on
カメラの視点
immersion
にいるのはもう
and make
プ
it
レイヤー
real
自身みたい
scary,
な感
but
じで
with
設定してますけ
combat
れど
and
も、
survival, I
そう
could
い
live
う
with first
今までに
person.
登場し
But
て
if
きたキ
they
ャラクタ
make
ーで
it
はない
like
っていうところがですね、今回また大きな変化の質につながっているんではないかなと思っています。
Could
well,
be good.
just to confirm, it isn't an existing character whose eyes you're seeing through. You know, I think one of the places we got to with the series until now is that you're kind of playing these superhero characters. You know, they're fully equipped, powerful people, and they go into these survival horror situations, but they're ready for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can take it on. To bring horror experience right to the player, we thought, well, now we're in first person and you feel like you're there. You can't be looking through the first person perspective of a, you know, macho hero character, because that's not you.
Angry
You
Fight fan, I
are
can
macho,
fucking read,
but-
dude. You don't have to repeat, man. I'm
so
gonna play
it's
the
a kind
demo
of a
later.
powerless, ordinary person you're playing as. You know, we're not really talking too much in detail about who they are right now, but needless to say, they're just an ordinary person stuck in this extraordinary situation. I think that really brings the horror right to the fore. You know, you don't feel like
So
maybe
it's
this
like
person I'm
Silent
playing
Hill.
as, or me, and maybe they can't cope with this situation. You know, and that
Right.
is a real feeling of helplessness that really helps the horror stand out. And if you try the demo that's out now on PSN for PS Plus, you'll be able to see that.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, to be able to instill horror, there has to be some sort of vulnerability. And over the series, you know, the original characters, Jill and Chris, and they
This
they
guy's
just
talking too
became
much.
more and more adapted to these situations. So, yeah, it makes sense that you'd need to play someone who's a little less capable in order to instill that fear. Another thing that I know people are really anxious to know about is. Is this a reboot? Is it a proper sequel? Does it take place in the same universe? These are some questions that fans have about Resident Evil 7.
Good
まあ
question.
このファンから質問も来るんですけども、これバイオハザードの世界の中の設定なんですか？でちゃん続編ですか？ナンバリングとして、それともリブート的な作品になるんですか？
そうですね、重要なことですけど、リブートではないです。まあ、過去、いろんなことバイオハザードやってきましたけど、その全てを何一つ捨ててるわけではなくて、あくまでバイオハザードユニバースの延長上にある。
I knew I would get spoilers.
Yeah, it's not a reboot, and you know, we're not throwing away the series canon storyline or anything like that. It's the new numbered title in the series. It's a sequel to the existing mainline series
Wow.
titles.
Okay.
Not a reboot.
もちろんこのデモではそうなのって思うかもしれないけどそこはねやっぱりサバイバルホラーには謎が必要なので
After I say that and you try the demo, you might be like, really? Because it looks nothing like any of that.
Right.
But trust me, it's you know, you need to have a bit of mystery in survival horror. So we're trying to make
Awesome.
you feel when you play it like, how could this possibly be connected to any of that stuff?
Good
Right.
That's
shit.
part of the,
I like
part of
that.
the appeal.
Yeah, it makes me want to know more, that's for sure.
I like it.
Speaking of trying to know more, can you tell us anything about who owns this property? Clearly the owners of this house we're in are maybe a little, I don't know, unstable.
誰の家ですか？なんか
Unstable.
こう見てると木の狂った人が持ってる家にしか見えないんですけど。
僕自身やっぱりホラー映画でもゲームやるときもやっぱり自分がここはどういう状態なのかこの先これ生き残れるのかっていうやっぱり不安になる気持ちが楽しいので皆さんも知らない方がプレイするまで楽しめると思います。
I don't think you want to know that just yet. You know,
Okay.
like you said, there's mystery. There's a certain uncertainty you have to feel in horror. Like, you know, I like playing horror games. I love watching horror movies, and when you watch them, you'll be feeling to yourself, "Oh my God! Like, what's happening here? Where are they? And are they ever going to get out of this alive?" I want that to be something you experience when you play this. So, you know, I'm
This
not
is
about
coming
just
out
go to
pretty
beats,
soon,
just-
right?
Okay.
Didn't they announce
All right, that's fair.
October or something? When
You
is
know,
this
another
coming
thing
out?
that I wanted to talk to you about is this year is the 20th anniversary of Resident Evil. And you know the announcement of Resident Evil 7 and revealing the future of the franchise is perfect timing. But if you two could talk a little bit about your personal
January?
feelings about the
Fuck.
20th anniversary and what it means to you as developers on the franchise.
まあ、ちょうどタイミングよく20周年記念に合わせて発表できたタイトルなんですけど、バイオの20周年の個人的な思い出とか感情についてちょっと教えてください。
僕個人的な話なんですけども、この会社にカプコンに入ったのも、
This buzzing noise is
21
annoying,
年前ぐらいだったんで、まあ、ほぼなんか同年代といいますか、それぐらい長い、付き合いの部分もあるんですけれども、やっぱりね、ずっと同じわけではないっていうのは人間もこのタイトルも同じかなと思うんですが、そういうこう変化していく部分っていうのが今回本当に
They're not gonna. You don't
この
think
20
they'd
周年という
spoil
タイ
like
ミングと
this? You
このバイオ
know,
ハ
you
ザー
think
ド
I
7
should
という
watch
タイ
this?
トルのね、
I feel like it's spoiling the
いい
demo.
タイミングがこうはまった状態になっているんじゃないかな。
But they've done a good job so far of only showing the environment and not
Yeah, like you
showing
say, I really
anything
love
else.
how we've been able to bring Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and show you it all right in time for the 20th anniversary. It's I joined Capcom about 21 years ago, so it's
Wow.
kind of like one of my anniversaries as well. And
Right.
you know, in 20 years, I feel like I've had a lot of personal growth and change, and that the series has as well. So it's been really great to kind of grow with Resident Evil over its history at Capcom and be able to bring a new chapter to everyone.
That's wonderful.
もうちょっといいですか？バイオハザードの1、2、3とね、あと4、5、6っていうところで、こうなんか区切りが今までできてたんじゃないかなと思うんですけども、今回のこの7でまた大きな一つの区切りができたかなと思ってますんで、これぜひね、またここから、バイオハザードっていうブランド広げていけたらいいかなと思ってます。
Yes, so you know, everyone who knows the series history will know.
If that's
kind
the
of got
demo,
a
then
couple
just
of,
watching the trailer
milestone
spoils the
markers
demo
where we
because
had
the trailer
Resident
shows
Evil
everything
1,
they
2,
just
3
showed.
as a
except
kind
for
of
the
a
bolt
sequence
cutter.
of the original
So,
gameplay style. Then from 4
whatever.
to 6,
Doesn't sound like
there's a
the
big
demo is
shift in
anything that
direction
really
with
can
the
be
series,
spoiled.
into third person, kind of over the shoulder. So now with Resident Evil 7, you know, it's another marker in the series where we've had a complete, they call it in Japanese a full model change, you know,
Okay.
complete redesigning from the ground up of the game. And you know, I'm just looking forward to seeing where the series is going to go from here now that we've come into our kind of third era.
Yeah. Absolutely. Same for me.
I have the demo.
I think, like I said,
It's downloaded already.
そうですね、
I'm
まあ、
gonna
20
play
年
tonight.
続いてるフランチャイズってなかなかないと思うんですよね。そんなに長く続いてるのにまだいろいろと挑戦的なことをしてるっていう、こういうフランチャイズでいってほしいなと僕ユーザーとしてもやっぱ思うので、まあ、そういう思いで。
I want to play it at night,
Yeah,
but I could play it
like
during
I
the
said,
day. I don't know.
says as well. I don't really. There are not that many series that have been around this long and are still going strong. You know, 20 years is a long time to be making games like this and challenging yourself to find new ways to make the games and bring new experiences to players. But as a gamer myself as well, I think it's really great to have such a long-running franchise exist, and I love this kind of series that exists in the game industry. You know, and it's really part of the DNA of the industry as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you as a lifelong
Yeah, I'm gonna play it
fan.
tonight.
To be as excited now about Resident Evil 7 as I was when I first saw the franchise back in 1996 is just an incredible feeling. But speaking of you know, things that came out 2 decades ago or were in existence, Resident Evil franchise has lasted a little bit better than VHS technology, but nevertheless still exists inside this game. But can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what we've seen of the
You
VHS
mentioned
tapes and found
VHS and that
footage,
Japanese guy
and
almost
how it will
barked.
play in with Resident Evil 7?
20年前のことといえばビデオテープが入ってるんですよね。でビデオテープは現代にあまり使われてないテクノロジーなんですけど、まあ、デモをプレイしてる人も、まあ、気づいてると思うんですけど、どういう要素になってくるんですか、ビデオテープというギミックは。
今回このビデオテープもそうですし、テレビもこのブラウン管ですし、
Not looking.
あとカセットテープっていうのも出てくるんですけれども、あえてその、まあ、80年代のそのギミック的なものを
Someone tell me when I
使
can
ったりと
look.
かしてるんで
I'll
すよ
look at the chat.
まあ、理由としてそのアナログ感といいますか、
Oh, damn
ホラー
it!
っていうのを
XSplit's
表
over
現するとき
here.
にそういうものっていうのが、まあ、すごくこう映えるんじゃないかな。最近のそのデジタル感とはまたちょっと対極のね、そういう表現をするための手法として今回あえてそういう、アイテムを使って
You know, things have gotten so digital in the modern era that we really just wanted to kind of bring an analog feel, kind of grungy feel to this horror. So if you've played the demo, you'll already have seen this kind of VHS type found footage motif going on. There's other things, and you know, you play them on a kind of a cathode ray tube TV, an old-fashioned big TV. There's also going to be like audio cassettes appearing in the game as well. So that kind of thing it just has a certain atmosphere. It's almost like it makes it feel like it could be set in any time. It could be the 80s, could be now. So it's,
Right.
it's kind of an analog feeling we want to bring out.
Right. This house definitely feels like it's been lost to time a little bit, and I feel like that kind of helps stamp that. You know, another element that was announced yesterday at the press conference was that this is going to have full support of the PlayStation 4's PlayStation VR mode, and that's in fact one of the demos that we're showing at our Capcom booth here at E3. Can you talk about the role that VR plays in Resident Evil 7?
昨日の発表でも VR 版が存在するということだったんですけど、EC でも出展中の PSVR 版があるんですけど、どういういきさつがあって PSVR の要素を入れ込んだんですか？
要素
PSVR なぜ
というフィーチャーを入れたいき
ああの VR とホラーはすごくマッチングする
ものすごいマッチングしますね。
しますね、
はい。
I think VR is a really good match for horror first and foremost. Or nothing else.
もう本当にそれに尽きる、
はい
実際テストしてもうチームもねとてもエキサイティングで、
はい
Yeah, well, you know, when we first got it implemented, we were all so excited to try it out, you know, putting on the headset and getting into the horror experience.
多分もう実際に体感してもらったらすぐ分かると思うんですよ。
うん
You have to kind of experience it for yourself to understand just how immersive and how much, I don't know, you feel like you're right there in the room, you know, so...
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've noticed that in having played the demo myself, that the sense of presence, in especially in this section when you're in the VHS found footage segment and it's darker, when I was separated from the other characters, I personally felt
miss?
very alone and isolated, and that's just not something I feel like I could feel without as potently without VR.
ビデオテープの部分でも他のキャラクターと別れるときにすごい孤独感が湧いてきたんですよね。で普通に画面越しでやってるときにあまり感じないことだったんで、自分もすごい特別な体験じゃないかなと。
そうですね。
そうですねこの画面の牛もねうざいもん
Yeah, you see these bugs here. You know, it's one thing to have them on your TV screen when you're playing, but when you're in VR, you're going to be batting them out of the air in front of you. You know, it's kind of like get out of my face, bugs.
Yeah. Another thing that was announced or revealed at Sony's press conference was that this has links to the previously revealed Kitchen VR demo. Can you talk a little bit about the connections there, both in
Damn
the
it.
the
This is
game
so
and
many
then also
spoilers.
the development
Okay, so I'm
of,
gonna turn
Resident Evil
around
7?
and I'm just gonna listen.
プレスカンファレンスでも
You guys
キッチン
pay attention and let me know what I missed. Jesus, that's fucked up. I shouldn't have done
関
this.
係してるんです
Alright, be
キッチン
cool.
テクデモと今回の
I'll be right back.
もともとは、同じ、開発環境で制作してたわけで、本当に先ほどのその VR のその研究、をするときに、仮にそのキッチンというタイトルのものを、制作したっていう。
Damn, I can't even listen. Alright, I'm out of here. Let me know on Twitter or something when it's over. I'm out of here.
バイ
Fuck
オハザー
this.
ド7っていうのもその段階でかなり制作自体は進めてましたんで、
Yeah, Kitchen was sort of developed in parallel. You know, it was a proof of concept VR tech demo. You might know it was put out at E3 last year on our booth as well. It was created at a time when Resident Evil 7, the main game itself, was coming along quite nicely, actually.
Right.
So they were kind of developed in parallel within the same development environment, and yeah, that's kind of the relationship between them. It's not a one-to-one relationship.
Okay. And I understand that the game is playable both with VR and not VR. Both versions have the same game, correct?
7ですけど、VR で遊んでも通常版で遊んでも同じ内容ということでいいんですよ。
基本的には
内容自体はね
同じ内容ですもちろんVR は、VR に最適化した調整はしますけど
Yeah, the content is the same. Of course, for VR, we need to kind of optimize the experience to make it comfortable in VR and make it as immersive as possible. But the actual game itself is exactly the same. It's just whether
Okay.
you play in VR mode or whether you play regular mode.
Okay. And you know, one thing that when I personally found out as a longtime Resident Evil fan and someone who's very curious about VR and excited about it and has been scared by VR games a lot, I was excited about the idea of my favorite horror franchise merging with this exciting new immersive technology. But is there any concern when you're developing the game that, oh my God, what if this is too scary? Like, is that a concern at all, or is the goal just like, no, if you're signing up for VR, we are pulling no punches?
VR の体験ですけど、怖すぎるっていう懸念をしません。没入感があまりにもあるから、
いや
これは行き過ぎなんじゃないかな、やばいんじゃない
あると思いますよ
って思ったこととかあるんですよ。
思ったことありますね
VR で遊ぶ以上、VR で遊びたい人がいるんだったら、じゃあ自己責任でやってくれたら
そういうことがありますね
Yeah, it's pretty much you take responsibility if you're the one who wants to play VR and you're ready. Whether you think you're ready for it or not is up to you to decide. But we certainly did have feelings at some point where it was like, you know, maybe you can push it too far in VR with the horror.
Okay. You know, and another thing that I'm curious about is there's clearly a threat in Resident Evil 7. You feel very on edge, especially in the VR version, but in this beginning hour demo, people that have played it, there is clearly a singular threat in this house, but then also you hear other things. And is there any hint that you can give us about what might be the threat for players in Resident Evil 7?
まあ、敵の存在を感じるデモになってるんですよね。
うん
どういうものかわからないけど、とりあえずこの家はやばいと感覚をする。
Just for the record, I'm extremely disappointed that this fucking shit has nothing to do with information, and all it ended up being is a playthrough of the fucking demo. What is this bullshit, man? Why don't you ask about inspiration? Why don't you ask about where, you know, I don't want to talk about it. I'll be back. This is spoilers. Shh.
デモの方にですね。
はい
Yeah, you know, I keep saying the same thing, but I really don't want to just like say this is what's happening in the game up front on the kind of ruin it in advance for everyone.
Right.
So, but I will say that if you try out the demo, I think there's plenty of hints inside there as well. What exactly is going on in this house and what this threat that you mentioned, what kind of threat that might be.
Absolutely.
So try it for yourself.
Definitely. And people can do that now. The PlayStation Plus subscribers can play it on PS4 right now, obviously. And yeah, that's the tricky thing, obviously, is balancing horror is about the unknown, but fans are so hungry for more information that these things can be a little at odds sometimes. But obviously, everyone's just really excited about it.
まあ知らない方が怖いのと、もっと興味があるから知りたいという駆け引きは難しいと思うんですけど。
Yeah. And can you talk a little bit? Obviously, this demo is set in a very old, mysterious house. Here at Capcom's booth in E3, the entire Resident Evil 7 demo area is a gigantic, derelict mansion. Can you talk about the decision to return to a singular, residence like this?
今回のブースもマンションの下になってるんですけど、最近のゲームと違って一つの場所に絞って設定にするっていうのはどういういきさとかって決定したんですか？この方向性は。いろんな場所で開催するストーリーではなく一つのところ。
まあバイオハザード6はすごく広がりがあるといいますか、スケールのでかいお話になってたと思うんですけれども、もう今回はあえてですね、やっぱり、対象もその個人、プレイヤーもその個人に対象を抑えて、もうそこから徐々に広がっていくみたいな感じの多分体感をしてもらった方がですね、よりそのホラー体感として、そのホラーの怖さっていうのを感じてもらいやすいんじゃないかなと思ってますんで、もう本当に身の回りからどう広がっていくのかっていうところを楽しんでもらいたいなと思ってます。
You know, yeah, like Resident Evil 6 and recent entries in the series have had this kind of massive global scale to the horror and the threat. We just sort of felt, if we bring it down to a bit more of an intimate, personal scale of horror, that will just make it all the easier for players to experience the fear that we want them to experience. So, I'm hoping you'll enjoy this bringing back to basics feeling we have, where it's just one person in one location and, a lot of fear.
今回はもうあえてそのスケールを広げていくよりも、もう本当に、範囲は狭いかもしれないんですけど、その分すごくディティールを凝ったって言いますか、建物にしてもやっぱりそういうディティールの細かさっていうのは昔からカプコン得意なんですけれども、それを今回極めるぞぐらいの勢いでやってますんで。
That also lets us focus a lot on, by not having this huge broad scale of environments, we can really focus on the details.
I'm here, but I'm not. I'm trying to stay away from the computer so that I don't accidentally get spoilers. I didn't realize that this was going to be a fucking walkthrough of the demo. I thought this was going to be an interview with the developer on, different ideas and concepts and all that bullshit.
Singular experience.
Right.
ただゲーム自体はね、本編自体はもっと
Ended up being a fucking player's guide. Walkthrough of the demo. This Schmohawk on the left is asking the shittiest questions. He should know that they can't answer the questions he's asking. So he should ask questions that they can answer instead of wasting everyone's time.
That's not to say that this kind of this house you can see in the beginning of our teaser, for example.
Excalibur from the United King. I am looking for him. I'm going to California. Excalibur from the United King. I'm looking for him. I am going to California.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Asafonesh.
Okay, great. Yeah, there's definitely something exciting about that. As someone who grew up loving, you know, Resident Evil 1 and 2 and these games that did have more of a focus on a central location, but did have, you know, branching paths and different areas to explore. There's something satisfying about, you know, if you handed a sheet of paper to a Resident Evil fan, they could probably sketch out, you know, the map to the Spencer Mansion or something, and just getting to know and become intimately familiar with an area like that is really satisfying. I think fans should be excited for that. Yeah.
Great job. Great job, guy on the left. Fucking sweet. You really nailed it. And now, time to go back to the walkthrough. Fucking
and you know, we're getting close to the end of our time here with you two, but Kawada-san, Nakanishi-san, any words to the fans that are watching right now before we wrap up? Just, you know, what to be excited for, or a special message about the 20th anniversary? Anything you want to say?
最後に一人ずつちょっとファンへのメッセージがあれば、まあ、セブンのことでもデモのことでも、まあ、20周年でも大きく見て、どうぞ。
そうですね、まあ、メッセージの前に一つさっき敵のことをねあんまり言わないのもちょっと意地悪かなと思ったんで一個だけ言うとこれテイストとしてはねちょっとスーパーナチュラル
I would have done that job for free if I was there. It would have been an honor to do this job.
そこも今回も今までバイオハザードの印象なんでそういうのはやってないです。
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but that guy's
I kind of want to give a
bitch.
reassuring message at the end of the conversation today that I think I've seen from initial reactions of what we've put out that people are getting an impression that maybe we've taken Resident Evil and turned it into some sort of supernatural occult ghost story.
Okay.
I think I can see where you know there's elements of that are kind of maybe you can look at the trailer or the demo and get that impression, but just don't worry, we haven't just thrown out Resident Evil.
Distraction City.
It'll all make sense in the end. So.
Okay, that's great to know.
で、
Thanks, Rue.
まあ、メッセージってことなんですけど、まあ、今回まだ、トレーラーとこのティーザーのデモしか出せてなくて本当はもっと出したいんだけど、まあ、最終的には皆さん満足してもらえるバイオハザードの経験ができるものに、するつもりなんで楽しみにしててください。
And yeah, I know it's frustrating that we keep holding back on what we can show you, but you know, we just really believe this is the best way to let you enjoy the game to the fullest when it finally comes out. So we just have a trailer and a demo at the minute, but you know, watch this space in the coming months and just hope you look forward to the game. We're going to do our best to bring the best game we can to you.
Okay, wonderful.
はい。まあやっとね、こうやって発表できて、僕もほっとしてるんですけれども、我々のボスにね、竹内純っていうのがいてですね、今回彼のやっぱりこの企画立案というすごくこう大きかったんですよ。で、今後、我々第一開発部っていうカプコンの中の、部隊に所属してるんですけれども、まあ、そこから、このバイオハザードシリーズをですね、いろんな展開できればいいかな。
I'm trying to listen here, but I'm just disappointed overall with this interview.
Yeah, you know, I've just been talking at Capcom R&D Group 1 back in Japan with my boss, Mr. Takeuchi. The fans might know who that is, you know, and we really want to be able to bring everything we can and all kinds of experiences to Resident Evil series going forward. So,
God,
you know, I hope you look forward to and enjoy what we've got in store for you for Resident Evil in the future.
Absolutely. I think
もう一個だけメッセージとして今回のセブンの特徴をもう一つ言いたいことがあるんですけど、今回は、QT を一切使ってないんです。
Also, I just want to say one last message.
How many people are watching
no
this?
QuickTime events anymore.
Not my stream, the
I
Capcom
know a
Unity
lot of
stream.
people
Could somebody check?
relieved to hear that.
Okay, great. I think there's a lot of people that hold you to that. That's good. That's good news.
絶対だね。
Well, I think I speak on behalf of a lot of Resident Evil fans, for all of them, that we're incredibly excited for Resident Evil 7. And you know, thank you so much for taking time, Kawada-san, Nakanishi-san, and Pat, to talk with us about the game. And stay tuned. And you know, for those watching, so Resident Evil 7 is going to be out on January 24th, 2017 for PS4 with PlayStation VR mode, and also on Xbox One and PC. And you can download the Resident Evil 7 teaser beginning hour on PSN right now if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. So check that out. And then stay tuned. Yuri's going to be back, and we're going to show off some Monster Hunter Generations coming up next. So thanks everyone for watching, and thanks again for stopping by.
Whoa, look at that weird thumb on the wave. Well, that was fucking super duper whack. The guy on the left side asked the shittiest questions that he knew they couldn't answer. That would be like when I interview Harada, if I told him, hey Harada, tell me the full cast of characters in the game. And then he'd be like, I can't. And then I'd be like, okay, good shit. Hey Harada, tell me what happens at the end of the scenario campaign of the game. He'd be like, but I can't. I'm like, oh, good shit, good shit. Well, why don't you tell me who the main enemy is in Resident Evil 7?
Oh, you.
Son of a bitch.
Damn, why was that guy trying to quote phrases? When you're in the presence of legends, you ask the right questions and ask them quick. And ask the ones they can answer.
What is this, a 200-word essay? Thanks, Geppetto Man. I'm already, bent out of shape. They got the mics all jerked off in the beginning. Lord Haunts, come on, man, do the math. They should have got someone better. That guy sucked 6 dicks. I don't know who that guy is, but he really failed me. As a Resident Evil fan, there were so many questions that could have been asked. He could have asked about inspiration. He could have asked about connections with PT. Maybe they told him not to mention PT at all. If that's the case, sure. But, I mean, there are a lot of, good questions that you can ask that aren't fucking yes or no, is Jill in the game questions, but you could ask about things that could give you ideas on where they're headed. I'm pissed. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, you're right. You're right. No big deal. I was just really excited about this, and it ended up being really low tier because all they did was spoil the shit that I'm excited to play tonight. Right? It's nothing to get butthurt about, though. I would have done that job for free, just FYI.